Hey everyone, it's Connor, and I want to talk about some of the big news coming out of the AWS conference that's happening in Vegas, and specifically about this announcement that $2 trillion companies, Amazon and Nvidia, are building the world's fastest supercomputer, which just sounds so unbelievable. So I want to talk about what it is and what it means for you and what it's for and all that kind of stuff, because whoa, doggy, this thing is crazy. Also, if you have a chance, please do subscribe to this channel. It makes me so happy. Okay, so let's start here. AWS CEO Adam Selipsky is doing his thing on the big stage, if you can picture this, right? It's Vegas, and he's talking about all the awesome stuff. And then suddenly, guess what? Special guest. And is it Taylor Swift? No, it is not. But it is I don't want to say the second best thing, but it is just Nvidia CEO and current rock star of compute, by the way, Jensen Huang. So this is very similar to the moment Sam Altman brought up Satya Nadella to be like, look who I know kind of thing, right? So different vibe though. The OpenAI one was sort of more like a really fancy high school. This is Vegas, man. So the music is thumping, the crowd's going not wild, but they're cheering. And Jensen comes out, and after we love each other, Jensen jumps right into it. So what does he say? Well, he points out that AWS was, the first cloud to put GPUs into it, blah, blah, blah. He talks about this new family of GPUs. He talks about the new H200 chip, which everybody's super excited about the cost of operating LLMs going down by a factor of 4, et cetera, et cetera. But then they move on to Project Seba. And this is what I wanted to hear. And this is this supercomputer thing, right? So Nvidia already has this like an AI factory, right? This DGX cloud. And that's their central hub for R&D, stuff like that. And they're using it to, revolutionize computer graphics and build models for biological research and increase natural language capacities, for LLMs, stuff like that. Robotics, self-driving cars. My favorite, that he said, of course, we're creating the digital twin of Earth. And I'm like, wait, what? And it turns out that they're doing this to create simulations for predicting weather. But I just want a digital twin of Earth because it means that I have a digital twin of me and also my dogs and my wife and kids. But anyway, let's talk about Project Seba. So this thing has 16,000 GPUs, which is approximately, 65 exascale. I didn't know what any of that meant, but they kept saying this is a huge amount of power, right? So that's not helpful because the Americans' favorite unit of measurement, as we all know, is the football field. So I'm trying to figure out in that kind of context, right? So I started to do basically my own kind of calculations with ChatGPT and figured out a little more about this supercomputer. So how the top of the line latest MacBook Pros are super powerful, right? Super powerful. Well, imagine getting a couple of those and working together. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't even need all this compute, right? So this supercomputer is strapping together 65 million MacBook Pros, right? So that's pretty cool. So what does this do? Well, it means faster training times, significantly reducing sort of the time it takes to train all these complex AI models, which used to take just forever. Cost efficiency, right? It aims to sort of cut the cost of training these models by half, which is also huge. They are so expensive to use. So anytime you're thinking, why do I spend $20 a month on ChatGPT? Because it costs $50 gazillion trillion to train it and do everything else, right? So this is the thing. So it trains it. And also about this whole Project Seba thing, it's integrated into Amazon's web services. So this is for the moment, it's just going to be NVIDIA's baby. They're just going to be using it for R&D and all that cool stuff with digital twin Earths and stuff like that. But here's what this means for you. So first of all, if you're a developer, you already know, right? They're serious about getting your business. They're doing, super great work, all that kind of stuff. But also AWS is adding its own chips, not NVIDIA chips, but they're not intended to compete, but their own ones, and sort of their lower, model, kind of lower, I don't want to say lower end, but one is sort of more for AI, one is more for things like gaming and data and all that kind of stuff. But point being, if you're a developer, you can choose. Do you want the Rolls Royce or do you want Amazon, sort of a little more affordable? No shade either way, right? Here's the thing. You may have heard of things like Moore's Law, processing power is going to double every 2 years. That is out the door. Nvidia is not $1 trillion company for nothing. You can't even buy their GPUs from time to time, right? I don't know if that's still the case right now, but they were projected, just to give you a sense of how much money they're making, they were projected in the third quarter to make $16 billion in revenue. They didn't. because of course they made more. They made 18 billion. That's 34% up quarter over quarter. That is bonkers. And Amazon, by the way, no longer just this e-commerce giant, which you can't convince me of because the box is piled outside my door, but this is more and more like a web services company. And we've known that was happening, but now even the market is sort of like just tracking it as an AI company. Things are moving along fast. What does this mean for the industry? Amazon, Nvidia, buddy, right? They're both invested in Anthropic. That's another thing. OpenAI and Microsoft, buddy, sort of like working on all the GPT models. Google has its own thing. It has its own cloud with Gemini, but it's also invested in Anthropic. Meta's out there with open source Insanity. IBM is actually doing really well. Intel's doing really well. You don't even hear about those. Guys, too much to talk about right now, but I say we all break in and try out this supercomputer and see what we can do with it. That's just my thought. We're going to learn together.